Hey, it's Caleb at homeschool-curriculum.org. Today we have a product review, and this is a product we've used in our own household and enjoyed it. The name of the product is Grammar Galaxy, and I'm going to be talking about the Nebula edition. It says Nebula right up here. And the thing about Grammar Galaxy is created by a woman. Her name is Dr. Melanie Wilson, and she has a site, psychowith6.com. Very interesting. If you are a podcast listener, you should listen to her podcast because very interesting, all about homeschool topics. I've enjoyed it, and it actually, through hearing the podcast, it introduced me to her book here, and I moved on from there and just got into it. So Grammar Galaxy, the Nebula edition, is targeted or written for beginning readers, so first, second grade age, so they can get into learning about grammar. There are two books. There is this book here, which is kind of the textbook, as you would. It's really a story. And in that story, Dr. Wilson introduces different concepts, different words, vocabulary, in a way that's kind of fun to follow. The story can be humorous and kind of ridiculous and silly at times, so a kid can follow and say, okay, I get that. I saw the word play there and had fun with it. The other book we get is what she calls the Mission Manual, and this is the workbook that goes with it. And it's sizable. This workbook here, just quick check, is 346 pages. And between the two of them, you don't need a teacher's guide or instruction guide. The two of these are sufficient. It's all you need to work through everything. Now, the pros that I liked about this is the book was well thought out, and Dr. Wilson clearly knows what she's doing. She's done a great job with that. And the thing about the books is it ran the range from being easy in some areas for our son, and then challenging in other areas. So some days you say, oh, that was easy. Other days he said, okay, I really got to think about this and really stretch. There is another edition, it's called the Proto-Star edition for the third grade age range. And then Dr. Wilson's coming out with a third version or third edition in the series, and that'll be out a little bit later in 2018. Cons. The cons that we had here were there were some areas it was difficult to keep our child's focus. And that might have been because we were working a little too hard on the topics and really, saying, well, let's just stay with it. Some of the words were big words for a second grade age child. But at the same point, we're introducing vocabulary early that he picked up and he's used again and again in his reading. We were worried about how to reinforce the learning. So the mission manual, the workbook that we used was good. It was great for us to go through on the first step after we went through the lesson or the chapter. But then what we did is we put some writing in place to follow up with that, just free journaling, where we look to say, can you incorporate some of this vocabulary? Can you incorporate some of these, the grammar that you've learned, just some of the phonics? And we just want to see a little bit more there to reinforce it. So how would you start if you were interested in purchasing this? There's a link below the video that takes you right to the site. And from here, I'm going to take you into a little bit of a site visit so you can see exactly what I recommend and how I would go about ordering. Here we are at the site. And at the homepage is an overview of just basically a curriculum for your child, fast, easy, and fun with some of the overviews. But we're going to go right to the shop area so I can point out the product that I recommended here. I had reviewed the Nebula site. I do want to highlight one thing that she's done that's really nice, is generous, is to include free domestic and international shipping. And of course, it may take a little bit longer if it's shipping outside of the U.S. because she's U.S. based, but that's pretty nice. So you don't have to say, oh, I went to buy this product and now I've got to pay for shipping on top of it. We go to the Nebula edition, which is what I reviewed. See here you have the print kit, and you could also get the digital. I would get the printed text and mission manual so you have them both together. You have that tactile, that touch feeling as you sit through and go through the work together, rather than trying to review this stuff from a screen or online. Unless maybe you're in a place where you don't want to be carrying two books. Traveling homeschoolers could be an example. Just click on the product you like. Takes you to the product overview page, add it to the cart. And there you are to go and check out and pay for it. While you're here, also check out the blog and the podcast. The podcast is the way I came to even learn of this. informative, interesting, and always deal with a topic that you might have a different thought about homeschooling and how you're handling it. That's it. Enjoy this. It's a great set. We enjoyed it in our household, and I know you will too.